first bring me into the stream. And let me tell you something about StreamYard. They're being a little bit slow tonight. The buttons are slow to push. I don't know if it's my internet connection or StreamYard, but I'm having a little bit of issue. So everything's going to be a little bit slow tonight. I tried to put stuff on or take it off, and it wants to go. My hair is a disaster, but there it is. Anyway, let's go ahead. Bones, let's get this. In other words, play the intro. Where is the intro? Intro, please, Bones. Thank you.
Warning, the following video contains strong language which may be offensive to some viewers and or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Southern Fried Paranormal with Len Dorman featuring Bones. Catch us on Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, Spreaker, Facebook, Stream, and everywhere else you catch your podcasts. And of course, WLFD-DB.com. Now, from the backwoods of southeast Arkansas, right beside the Bayou Bartholomew, the longest bayou on the planet, broadcasting from downtown metropolitan Cane Creek Township, here is your host, Len Dorman.
Anyway, so Len Dorman, I'm down here from the backwoods of southeast Arkansas. Of course, that's what CART means, Craig. CART, Southeast Arkansas. PS Paranormal Society. For those of you on YouTube, or if you want on Facebook, you want to go on YouTube, CART, PS, Len Dorman, that is my channel ID. I do have it registered with YouTube. SEARK, caps, PS, all letters, Len Dorman, LENDORMAN. That's me. That would be my channel on YouTube, and you can watch this show there. YouTube usually gives you a good feed out on the video and the audio. But right now, we're going to bring in my friend, Craig Koss. Okay, let's see if this works. My internet, of course, is slow because I am in the backwoods of southeast Arkansas, as pointed out. And come on, there it goes. Work.
How are you doing, Len?
Craig, you can say I'm having a few issues. I'm not sure if it's an internet connection or whether it's StreamYard, but I'm having a few issues. I pushed the button and then the button I pushed works and then reverses itself. So
that happens.
Your friend, and yes, it does. Like I said, if all you got is 3 threes, you play the 3 threes, and you don't sit and open up another jack.
Right.
Anyway, let's bring in our other guest tonight. Reg, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
I'm getting both of y'all are freezing.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you are. Len, you're freezing up on my end.
I'm here.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of internet connectivity. This is our first kind of chilly night down here in Arkansas, and I bet you everybody and their brother-in-law is on the internet tonight. And when there's these connections get slow and they get kind of creaky, and last week they never improved through the whole show. They never improved. I'm hoping that by 11 o'clock, people start going to bed. because tomorrow's a work day. Tomorrow's still a school day, and some of these people that are on now will go to bed. But for right now, this is all we can do. Okay, finally got a bar anyway instead of a dot on my internet speed. So, Greg, what did we want to do tonight? You were here 2 weeks ago. A little bit of what we wanted to do tonight, but no great details. So, what did we want to cover tonight?
Boy, oh boy, the only thing I think we really need to cover tonight, and we have to make sure we cover it, is Mr. Reginald Randall right next door to us here. He's the gentleman that's of our interest. So we're going to have to go ahead and try to go ahead and find out some things about Reggie and figure out what he's all about and what he's doing and the new show he has and take it from there. And of course, you're going to be the one that's going to be asking the questions anyway. I'm just going to be sitting back here and listening. No?
Who are you talking to, me or Lynn?
Oh, okay.
I was talking to Len.
So it's going to be me talking to her.
You can,
well, considering that it's my show, so I get to ask the questions, I guess.
Exactly.
So color black. Okay, show's over. That's all. Good night.
It's been great. Go ahead.
It's wonderful to finally met you, Lynn. I was saying it's wonderful to meet
to have. You've never been here before. Craig has several times. Oh yeah, it's wonderful to meet you too. I'm glad to have bringing in a new show. You can tell us about it. Glad to help you launch your show. I've only been on a year. This just makes about a year for me, and I'm still learning stuff. I learn stuff every show. Either I learn to do something or don't do something, or how to do something. So it's a learning process. So I will give you that warning right now.
Oh, no doubt.
You'll still be learning stuff a year and a half, 2 years from now.
Yeah, I'm getting over
how to do this. It is fun.
Yeah, I'm getting over the initial nervousness factor first, and then going from there.
It helps to be out in front of the public. A little public speaking helps a lot, and I did a lot of that in college. I was on TV a couple of times. I've actually been on 2020. You don't know me, but I don't know if Greg remembers or not the fact that I was on Snapped. CNN headline news is Vengeance.
Well, you were on
True Crime for a show.
Yeah, and then you were also on the CIA reports. No?
Yes, I was on 20 photos were on a second time, but I was actually on 2020 once several years ago. And when people are shooting questions at you, it's nerve-wracking. You get used to the light shining in your face. You'll notice me that that's a very bright light. The reason it's a bright light is a white shirt. I got beige. So your background is whatever you want. Put a poster of Craig up there if you want to. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you could.
It'll be with his pants on.
There's some naked pics with him on TikTok. So.
Me?
Well, the ones on TikTok and some of the other social media platforms, there's no pants, so you might not want to get those.
You don't want to look at those. I deny every one of them.
No.
they're not me.
Mm.
They carry on
Well,
quite a few
I
shows
was
now,
about
by
to
the
say
way.
they're little to look at there.
Well, in the spirit world, no one has
Any old
pants on
house.
anyway.
Reginald, this is true. Uh, the true self, when you cross over, is just an energy being, so nobody's wearing any clothes. Of course, when they appear on our side of the border, the women are usually in their wedding clothes, and the
Oh,
men are just wearing whatever. It's a strange situation. I guess the male spirits don't care.
Mm.
Have y'all have y'all found that out in your past? When you find a female spirit, they're wearing their wedding dress.
are you sure about that?
You've never noticed that. Well, what are women? What are they wearing, Greg?
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. A lot of red dresses. No,
Are we having prayer?
there's some sort of lag.
Yeah,
No.
it's on your end. When you talk,
Yeah,
Len,
we.
it's breaking up a lot.
As there's a little
Yeah,
lag there,
there's.
Yeah.
but we can work through it. Jeez, that didn't
Yeah,
feel.
that's all we can do is work through
Yeah,
it.
we'll be fine.
Uh, Reginald. Oh, yeah, we'll be fine. Reginald, why don't we just go ahead and let you talk about yourself for a little bit, since I don't know that much about you. We've never met before this show started. So go ahead and tell
Okay.
us about kind of what your new show and things you've done in the past. Where you normally investigate, maybe some investigations you've done in the past.
Well, to be quite honest, everything that I've done has more or less been in one cemetery and a second one with Greg, and then at home, uh, at work sometimes. You know, I my daily life like job keeps me kind of stuck here to where I'm unable to travel and whatnot. But I'm a star seed. Um, a few years back, I started going through an awakening, like an unbelievable awakening, where it started out by me getting scratched, but I wasn't aware that's what was going on. And then out of nowhere, one day at work, a box of light bulbs came off the wall, and I went. I actually came in and found the light bulbs, and I went up front asking everybody, you know, all right, who broke my bulbs? And they were waiting for me to come in to find out what I did. And I ended up pulling security footage and finding that the bulbs came off the wall on their own. And well, I started hearing my name out loud everywhere I went. I started seeing light energies. I could actually look at a person, a human being, walking and see their trail of energy behind them. And it was happening so often, the out loud voices, that I went ahead and invested in spirit boxes to find out if I was losing my mind or not. And the second I turned them on, it was just nothing but chatter. I mean, constant talk. Um, I They help me to, if I ask about murder cases, missing people, they give me information. Um, when I talk to spirit, I talk to them from one soul to the other. At those moments, I don't feel as though I'm in a human body. And I think they realize that we're on the same plane. You know, it's kind of my form of meditation, I suppose. And they just fluently talk
Well,
to me.
you're talking to them soul to soul,
Yeah, more or less
instead
through a
of
spirit box.
like a lot of. There you go.
Yeah, I don't
A lot of
try to
people
catch.
try to intimidate spirits, or
Yeah, I don't try to catch them on camera. I don't try to, catch a voice or whatever in an EVP recording. I know they're there, and I approach them in that manner, with unconditional love, and want to get to know them and talk to them and say hello. And they know that, spirit world, they can look at anyone on the planet and instantly know from one soul to the person's soul whether or not they're pure of heart and with unconditional love. And yeah, I don't know how to explain it exactly. I hope I'm explaining it correctly.
Doing a great job.
I'm like feeling it now as I'm talking about it.
Just
I'm starting to tear up.
just take a deep breath, and it's just like down home week. You're fine.
Yeah.
Just keep her going. That's all.
I'm feeling the emotions in the room right now. And you guys know I love you. Oh, I'm talking to them, by the way. Whew. I get emotional when I start talking about them, and they're like, I can feel the room heating up, and it's just an amazing life, It's an amazing life. And I'm one of the few people you'll meet that don't care.
Paranormal is amazing.
That I don't ever ask them to leave. They can hang out with me 24/7.
SB7 mode.
Oh, hey. I think they're wanting to talk.
Did somebody just turn your box on?
Well, I had the one speaker on already, and it just out of nowhere said now in SB7 mode without me touching anything. They're like, hey, wait a minute. Okay. Ah, for the violin. How many are here with me right now? You guys want to say hello? It's a live broadcast. That's right.
I'm dead.
You're dead? What's your name? Who just said that? Can somebody help them out? Hi. Yeah, there's a lot of cameras.
That was a Cameron, right?
Sounded like you said camera. I might have to review this. Hello. Can this be heard clearly, Greg?
Yes.
Hello.
It's sort of fading in and out, but
There's 3 of you? I love you. Thank you for being here with me. Well, I'm going to turn this down for a minute, guys. I want you to stick around, okay?
got a little echo.
Bring as many in as you want to. I'm calling on my star family. Bring everybody in that you want to. Okay? I'm going to turn this. Okay. I'm going to turn this down for a minute. Love you. I got this all set up on a volume.
Okay.
Volume.
We just have a little echo. I don't know where Len went. He's right around. I can hear him.
Oh yeah.
There's a little
That
echo.
was interesting. Now, Reginald, these 3 videos that I've got, a bit about them.
Let's see. I think the one video that you probably got through was the intro to the show that me and Greg are doing. It should say show intro with Greg Koss. And that's simply the podcast intro once it gets started. You wanted to play that, you could.
Okay.
And what's the second one?
Well, why don't we go ahead? Okay, let me go ahead and yeah.
Let me see here. Let me see what I sent you here.
Let me go ahead and play them, and we can talk about them while they're playing.
That's good.
Oh. That was the house here until I was living in more. The house on 2nd Street in Fall River or Maplecroft.
Yeah, I love that one. I made a request at home on my security camera.
You like to set the record straight. We come in love and light and mean you no harm. We are just curious.
I asked her the same one.
I know you've been asked this a lot. Well, who did it?
Oh.
What happened?
Oh, the video cut out.
Did
So
that play completely? I'm getting
No.
a horrible delay replaying those back on my end.
Okay.
Yeah, it did. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can. I might actually be able to play it.
Did it play completely?
Play it. No.
See, Reggie might play it from his end.
Oh, you know what? I don't have it on this computer.
Right. That's Okay. You want me to try it
That
again?
per-
Try play again?
Sure. Now I'll just give you a quick analysis of it. When they were doing their show, I was at home, and on that last part of it, I'm actually asking, and what I did was I placed my security camera footage of me asking them to have Elizabeth say my name to where they could hear it. And she says my name. I didn't know he was asking who did it at that moment. She says my name like it sounds almost like she's saying I did it. And then I do the replay of me at home asking, and then the audio through my computer as she's saying it in direct response from over 1,000 miles away. And so it's really kind of a cool one. If you want to go ahead and replay it, go ahead.
Yeah, just go ahead and try it again.
Right?
Oh, here it is. Hey, honey. Spirit, can you have Miss Elizabeth say my name through the box so they can hear it? That'd be really cool. Did you just say Reginald? I love that. I absolutely love that.
That's awesome. That was quite a highlight on the show.
That was a very awesome catch.
And that's on Chris and Kristen's show, Dark Horse Paranormal. And I was on there, and we were doing like not a bad, we call it like boxing spirit boxes. And we go back and forth and we ask questions. And that night, the whole theme was Lizzie Borden and the Lizzie Borden house.
Oh, okay.
And we were having answers coming through, and Reggie was listening, and he was on there trying to join the chat, and he went ahead and he came up with, you could see him sitting in his chair, and he was literally at his own apartment, and he was asking his spirits to go ahead and say his name on the show we were on with the spirit boxes, and it came out and it said Reggie.
Yeah, and they're in Massachusetts.
Well,
it's like 1,000 miles away.
It doesn't make any difference where they were. They're on the East Coast.
Yeah.
No,
that was awesome.
No, it does ask and move right through the internet. You're talking about a big energy anyway. So the internet and computers are just a conduit for the move.
That's why what we do with Metaphysical Crossing is exactly that, where we go from location to location and we ask the same questions, and we try to find a correlation between the answers. And a lot of times we are actually talking back and bantering back and forth, and we're the ones that are, under the Estes method. So it's a different step than what Reggie's really good at, but at the same time, I don't think I could do what Reggie does. He just has a different gift.
Well, yeah, he has a slightly different gift than you and I have, and we're all a little bit different. We're all individuals,
right?
And we do things slightly different ways, and we have obviously get results in our own little separate ways.
Well, the part that was really
I'm gonna go ahead and play these other.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say that before you go
part
into
was
it, that he The first time I went out with him, or he came down to meet us, and we went into a certain cemetery up by the Illinois-Wisconsin border. And we set up, and he came out, and he had his spirit box, and he had his spirit box, and he had his recorder, and he had his headphones, and he has a speaker attached to him and everything. And he literally sort of segmented the cemetery and went in and worked every grave and was actually talking to every one of the tombstones, which is something I've never seen anybody do. And he was actually getting responses, not that I could hear, but from what we were picking up on the way we normally pick up things, we were actually getting the feeling that he was getting responses, and he's awesome at it. And when we heard the recording, it was like, holy crap, this is awesome. And then he played it back, and then he made a couple videos out of it. And the next thing we know, bingo, he's very gifted, period. And
thank you, Greg.
And the good Lord did a good thing when he came up with Reggie. Whether he's from here or he's a starseed and he's from another galaxy, it really doesn't make any difference right now, because he's here amongst us. And, we all like to go ahead and hear a little bit about Reggie. And I'm going to shut up from now on, and you're going to lead, Lenny. And I'm just going to stay in the background, because this is Reggie's show.
I'm tearing up. Thank you so much, Greg.
I'll go ahead and hit another one of these videos. It's very hard on my tiny screen to pick up which one's which. So I'm thinking this may be the intro. I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and add it to the stream and let it roll, and then we can talk about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's her podcast intro.
That is a rocking intro. That is a rocking intro. That's no joke about that. That's a rocking intro. I love it. Absolutely love it. Who created that for you?
That was me. I do my own video editing. Yeah, I've got a video editor on my computer.
You did that?
Yeah.
I saw that about 6 months ago.
That's absolutely amazing.
It was.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing.
It was 6 months ago, and it still is. It's like Chris and Kristen's Dark Horse Paranormal. They have a couple intros they always blew my socks off. They still do today. They're that great, and I think they've done such an awesome job that Reggie. Not that Reggie, it's all Reggie's talent. It's not. It's all a combined talent, I think. Right, Reggie?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
But
yeah, I just I got all the communication that I got in the cemetery. It was I still to this day I was out of the car on the first visit to St. Michael's, and back in the car leaving in less than 45 minutes. And I have yet to put out that entire video because there was so much communication at the cemetery. And I was using my video editor to edit it. And it kind of made me, it broke me in as a video editor, I think. And so I was able to, figure out little tricks, slowing what's being said down a little bit so everyone could hear it. And yeah, I really want you, Lynn, to hear that video, that one that's too long, because I think you'll really like it. I'm going to try and see. I sent you one, and I'm looking at the other computer here.
We got somebody else that's in the room that's
by the way,
not normally here.
Reggie.
Yeah.
By the way, Reggie, we're having a lot of great comments in the chat room. Some people just saying hello. Say they love Christian and Chris's intros too. Several people, Lynn Monet said, great intro. Christian Johnson said, wow, amazing intro, all caps. And while I'm talking, I'd like to say, Memphis Ghost Hunters, I see you there. You say,
I'm going to give them thumbs up because I know those guys.
I just don't like interrupting guests to talk to the chat room. But interesting comments in all the chats. Reggie, like I said, that's a major rocking video. Love the editing skills. What program did you use to put that all together?
The video program I use is Movavi video editing.
Movavi. I've heard a lot of good things about Movavi.
Yeah.
So like that, and we might as well go ahead and give them a little spot. I'm gathering you would recommend Mojave for other people to use.
Oh yeah, Movavi's awesome. It's awesome. It's real easy to use too. And when you're I don't know about all the other video editors, but I know that when you go to convert it into a video, you can choose from, there's like so many formats you can choose from. And you can even take the video and I'll actually open it up on my other computer so I can give you a better description. But you can take a video and convert it to just an MP3 file if you want to where it's just the sound of the video.
Really?
I mean, yeah, I'm waiting for it to open up on this other computer so I can give you a little rundown of the formats. They've got a lot of formats you can use.
Okay. While we're waiting, Carol Garcia, also in one of the chat rooms, she's on Facebook, says she loves the intro and sent 3 hearts.
Oh.
Azariana Tradell, Talented Reggie, also on Facebook. So we've got quite a few people listening in, some on YouTube, some on Facebook. Thank you for all the comments.
Good group.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna say I can convert with the Movavi Video Editor Plus to MP4 AVI, MOV, MPEG-1 and -2, WMV, MKV, FLV. I mean, there's a list of different ones that you can make a simple GIF file. Yeah, and so
Hey,
I was
Greg,
just
do you
letting you.
remember uh, when I think what was the name of that program? It was about the only thing you could use, Real Video or something
Oh
like
wow,
that. It was about the only thing you could use on the internet.
boy, I can't
That was
remember.
years ago. That back in the night. Uh, and you had to convert everything into that, and that was about all you had.
Yeah, I know. Dark Horse
Uh,
says we use DaVinci and Audacity. And the lady's name was Azriana
yeah,
Trudel, and she's from up on the East Coast too.
Adriana. I'm sorry.
Yes, that's okay.
That's a
Okay.
fantastic
Dark
name.
Horse Paranormal.
That's Chris and
Also,
Kristen.
ask a question. Uh, Reggie, what do you think of missing persons, and is it related to remote viewing?
Well, it can. I think every single one of the abilities can help find missing people. I know remote viewing is for some, you know, just simple. I'm looking for the right words here. Psychic mediums could be led by a voice of spirit. I get help through spirit boxes. I will say this. I was trying real hard to find the missing West boys in California City, and I laid back one day trying to remote view to see if I could find them, and I didn't find them. But as soon as I closed my eyes and dropped into that meditative state, I was somehow in a vehicle, and I could look around like 360 all the way around, and I was out in the desert. I was out somewhere in Arizona or somewhere out there. I don't know if I was within proximity of them, but something caught my attention and caused me to pop out of that meditative state, and then I lost the vision. But I know I was out in Arizona or somewhere, and California City is out there, and so I know you can use remote viewing. If you can get it mastered, I know that for sure. But yeah, every ability that we all possess, and all 8 billion people on the planet have abilities. It's just opening them up. So there's probably 100 more new abilities out there that have yet to be discovered, that could help make this world a better place.
Well, Dark Horse Paranormal Productions and Lemonade are both agreeing that it sounds like remote viewing. And you do have another question from Kristen Johnson. Do you ever use just a recorder, nothing else, to get EVPs?
Most of mine have been caught by accident because I always use a spirit box. But most of mine, I leave a recorder on the desk on, and I caught one great one that was, I said I could feel an energy in the room, and I said I love you, and I kind of went into some meditative state, and my body energized, and I said I love you, and the EVP recorder caught we love you too. You know, um, when I was outside, well, like I was saying before, I actually um, can hear them out loud sometimes. And there's one time I was out on the balcony, and some crows caught my attention, and I was filming the crows, and they were calling, and I could hear, I heard my name out loud. And when I went back over the video footage, you could hear exactly what I hear, on the video. You could hear her say my name. And so that was pretty fantastic. I could actually show people what I was hearing out loud, you know. But yeah, there's been a few times that I've caught things, but it's usually by accident.
Okay. Let's go ahead and hit the last video, and I need to go into a tad bit of commercial break, not a whole lot, but
Okay.
let's go ahead and hit this last one. I'm not sure what this is. You probably have
Is
a
this
better idea than I
Wilma?
do, because I did get 3 of the 4.
Does this one say
On the
Wilma on
piano,
it?
I think this is what it is.
Okay.
I believe so.
All right, I just
You
hit
guys are gonna
record on
love
my
this one. You're gonna love it.
camera again. You can see Christy in the background.
I'm gonna do a duet with Miss Wilma one day. Your big day, Albert. This is your big day. Miss Wilma.
Pauline, Emma, Carl, Wilma, Albert. I love you. Hi. I've missed everybody here. How have you been, sir? Can you try doing another piano part for me? I loved it. I heard a piano playing a couple of times walking through here. And I thought about doing a duet with you on my guitar. Is that good? That sound good? It's very a happy thing. I love you guys so much. Is Carl, Emma, and Pauline here? Play me another one, Wilma. I heard that. Can you do it again? Beautiful. That'll be part of the song. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my God. That was amazing. Oh my God. Thank you so much. You want to add anything more? say next week. I don't think I can get back here next week. Oh, thank you. Keep playing it. Oh, that is amazing. Again? Oh, thank you.
Oh, I love that so much. Oh. And I challenge anyone to tell me that's a radio station. Mm.
Really. Before we go to break, you got two questions. One from Lynn Monet. Have you ever come across an angry spirit?
A couple, but well, the one I don't know. I don't know if it would be considered angry though. Just picking on me, trying to scare me away from doing what I do, is how I took it. And I was so afraid that and nervous that I turned off the spirit boxes for like a week or two, and for a year after that, I slept with the lights on. And so I was on my way home. It was when my awakening first started, and I was talking to him in my car
Okay.
about wanting to know who my spirit guide was. And I got home, and I come in the door, and I'm still talking about it, a little quieter out in the hallway, so the neighbors didn't think I was crazy. But I come in and I'm still talking about it, and I go to turn the stuff on, and I'm talking to him through the spirit box, and just all kinds of talk was coming across. One named Doug, and then at the time I was calling him Jason, but I believe him. He's who I call Luther now. Was on there, and I decided to stop because I wanted to take a cigarette, and I went out onto the balcony, and as I was approaching the window, one of our wall hangings, we have another one on the wall next to the double doors. It's like the one behind me here. The wall hanging goes like this off of the wall, like something came through the wall and through that wall hanging. And as I was going out, and then I went out there and I heard out loud something run through the wooded area towards me, but I couldn't see it. I couldn't see who it was. And it was at that moment I saw like an orb in the woods in roughly the same area where I heard the footprints. And I looked to my left, and because it caught my eye, there was what looked like a flaming. It looked like it was a blue orb, and it looked as though it had like blue flames inside it. And I looked over at it, and I mean, it was so close to me I could have touched it, and I just didn't, because I knew better than to get into its area. I just didn't want to. I didn't know what I was looking at the time. And I watched this orb lift off of the banister, come between me and the one in the woods, and it lowered down 2 floors down to the sidewalk below, and then went up, like kind of up the hill. And I think it was protecting me from whatever ran up to me in there. And when I went over my recordings afterwards, I mean, one of the first things that was said when I turned it on, and I heard it plain as day. I said, I was talking to Jason and Doug, and the one that I'm referring to as Jason, instantly, and in real time, I heard him. That wasn't Doug. And I was like, oh, so I went ahead and I went over the recordings, and there was someone up to no good. They were pulling my chain. They were saying phrases to each other like, he's my bitch now, that type of thing, just being rude. And it was after that point that I'd figured out that my star family, like maybe 2 weeks later, I finally turned on the spirit box, and it just instantly lit up. They were so proud of me that I finally got the nerve to turn it on. They're saying I love you, and one of my other recordings, when I asked how many are with me, and they said 11. That was one of the recordings, the early on ones. And but I have all kinds of recordings now where I can hear them chasing down something in here, like on the playback. I can hear like a high pitched voice sometimes on some of the recordings. You'll never catch me, things like that, and they'll be talking to each other, and where I came to grips with the fact that extraterrestrial and spiritual are combined, where they're intertwined, was also on my recordings. I distinctly heard one female. Now, I don't know what it meant exactly, but it was plain as day. She said, I can't hear you in the sunlight. And on that same recording, they're chasing something down here. And you could hear a male voice. It's sounding like he was giving instruction to someone else, saying, and when you first start to orbit, like they're coming into the Earth's orbit, coming down. And I was blown away. And that's where after, listening to all the playback, by what I was hearing. And then that's when I discovered, I heard it firsthand, the extraterrestrials, UFO, conversing, with spirit and back and forth and chasing whatever it was. And they located him in the chimney, and you could hear him say he's in the chimney. And then after they found him, another voice came across, so I can detonate, and I heard a high pitched voice go like scream, please help me. And then you hear a pop sound in the white noise. And I'm like, oh man, must have got him, and then nothing. I mean, I've heard them chase down the dark ones, out of this place, literally, or play by play. It got to a point where I started. People say not to do this, but I will turn on white noise while I'm asleep, and I'll make it to where I can't hear it, and then I'll listen to it the next day. Or I used to. I don't do it so much anymore. And they'll be talking back and forth in the room. There'll be spirit coming in saying, are you here, Reggie? Hey, Reggie. And then you would hear one of my guides or one of the techs or one of them say, Reggie's asleep right now, or he's dreaming right now. It's pretty interesting, but yeah, and that's part of the reason why, I'm kind of the opposite of everyone else. There's so many people that, it's whatever you set the intentions on. If you need to burn sage or say a prayer or whatever, that's what works for you, and your spirit guides know that, and they make it work for you. And it's the same, like with me, I just know they're there, like kicking ass and taking names. I don't know how else to put it because I've heard them like over and over again. So I'm always like saying, "Bring the rain! Come on, everybody, come in!" And I'm always having so much fun, with them. And I've heard them tell souls to step outside for a minute, if there's someone else in here that I was talking to, and that, I'm kind of rambling on. I apologize.
There is absolutely nothing to apologize for, Reggie. You are putting it out there. Some of the comments I've got, Lemonade said, wow, wow, wow. Carol Garcia said, absolutely awesome. Lemonade also said, great stuff. Lynn, by the way, is having to go to bed. It's getting a little late on the East Coast. She said, great show. You hit it out of the park, Reginald. So proud of you. It's midnight here, and I'm starting to turn into a pumpkin. Signing off. Good night, all. So, good night, Lynn. Uh, some other people are saying, good night and etc. Let me do my halftime advertisements, and
Okay.
we can get right back. If you got a comment about anything that I talk about during my little halftime thing here, please say so. Uh, what I'm doing is just advertising a couple places where I will be next year. I'm already setting up next year, of course. And that, there it is right here. This is an advertisement for October 29th and 30th this past year's Gypsy Soul Holistic Fair in Fresno, Texas. Uh, Obviously, that's past, but Gypsy Soul Holistic Fair also has events in Oklahoma and has events in here in Arkansas, at Hot Springs, Arkansas. Uh, I will be appearing at the Gypsy Soul Holistic Fair in Hot Springs when they announce their date, probably in April, is my best guess of this next year. So I'm planning on being there if I can. Things happen, and but the plans are right now for me to be there. Uh, I will be appearing there with Phoenix Jansen. By the way, Phoenix Jansen and I will be discussing something that we're going to do together on the internet that will be forthcoming. I'm not sure exactly what that's going to be. We will be talking more about that this coming Saturday. She's having a lot of snow where she is, and we could not be talking with my full internet down here and snow covered internet at her end. It would have been kind of hard to do, so we're going to reschedule that for Saturday evening. She is the woman for New Orleans Fear Fest. I don't know if either one of y'all are planning on going down to the Fear Fest in New Orleans in 2023, but that's in October. That's a long ways away. But I am planning on being there also at the Fear Fest. There are several shows there as their major sponsors. The Parallax Show, the Parapost, Paranormal Investigations are sponsors of the Fear Fest. Phoenix Rising, which is her production, which is Phoenix's and her, I believe, paranormal group. So, of course, she'll be there. She is a chairwoman. And like I said, I will be appearing with her, and hopefully we are going to get together and do some investigating down there. So that'll be next October. So I'll be down in New Orleans for 2, 3, 4 days for that event. Lucky enough, the wife is in love with New Orleans as I am, so she won't mind being stuck in. Probably we go down to New Orleans, we stay in one of the older hotels, which makes it convenient for ghost hunting because all we have to do is talk in the room. Reginald, have you ever been to New Orleans?
Have I ever been where? New Orleans? Oh no, Mm-mm. No, I am plan on going
You
to
probably
going to
love it down
Arkansas
there.
one of these days.
Well,
What's that?
there's a lot of things. Pea Ridge from the north and around Missouri. You got Pea Ridge battlefields. The Civil War battlefield was fairly bloody. A couple thousand people died there. And that's a place to investigate. It's only about 100 or so miles from the Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs, which is a very haunted hotel where
Well,
a
that's actually
pretend to be
where I'm gonna
doctor
go.
conned a lot of people.
Yeah, that's where I intend on going. My brother lives like within, I want to say he said 15 minutes or 20 of Eureka Springs in Arkansas. And so when I go, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stay in what room 218, 206,
There
wherever
you go.
Michael is,
There you go.
and that's my
There,
plan.
okay. When you come down, take a little extra time and stop by Pre Ridge Battlefield, which is a little bit west of Eureka Springs.
Okay. Yeah.
So just look on a map and see when that place is open, and take your spirit box and go out there and see if you can communicate with some Confederate and Union soldiers right down the battlefield. Is one of the best restored battlefields in the country.
Oh.
They pretty well restored it up, bought property, and that covers most of the battlefield. It's not grown up or a cow pasture or private property. They pretty well got the entire battlefield available for you to walk around and investigate.
Oh. Yeah, it sounds really neat.
How big of an area is it, Lon?
So you're with 75, 100 miles away. It's quite a few acres. It was not like Gettysburg. You expect 1,000 acres battlefield, something like Gettysburg was, or Antietam. It was not that huge, but there were several thousand troops on each side fighting right there in Missouri, trying to push the Confederates down into Arkansas, which they managed to do, even though the Union forces were outnumbered 2.5 to 1. It's just the commanders on the Confederate side were inept and not very good commanders at all, and were soundly defeated because of their ineptness. And a lot of people killed on the Confederate side because of that ineptness. Just intolerable incompetence on the Confederate side. And it cost a lot of lives and cost them the battle. So, and he's going to be within easily 100 miles. So if Reginald, if you got time when you come down to see your brother in Eureka Springs to go to the Crescent, swing by the field. You will not be disappointed.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
And it is known to be one of the most haunted places in the state of Arkansas. Also down here, quite a bit out of your way, because it's actually south of where I am. I'm well south. I'm 2 hours, 2.5 hours, maybe almost 3 hours southeast of Eureka Springs. But about 30 miles south of me is, of course, one of the most haunted privately owned residences in the country, the Allen House.
Oh.
So again, if you had time, you came down here, come on down past halfway between Pine Bluff and Monticello. The Allen House is in Monticello, and It's got its. If you look up the Allen house on the internet, you will look. You will find Liddell Allen, a suicide,
Oh,
and she's got her own rather tragic love story. Obviously, the reason she committed suicide, her and her son, who is called Allen by their last for her last name. They don't like to talk about her husband because he was outside the love affair, outside of the whole tragedy. Very interesting, very sad story. There was love letters found there in the house by the Spencers, the current owners. So if you got time, come on down here. And now that's expensive. Or an investigation there would cost a little bit of money, but we might if we could arrange something.
oh, okay.
Because it is a lived-in house. The Spencer family is a professor at the University of Monticello, and they do charge for it. Obviously, it goes right back in the upkeep of the house. You can
Oh,
come
yeah.
down here on a Halloween and at least get a tour of the place. And I have spoken to Liddell on Halloween. 2 years, 2 straight years. Very interesting story. Very, very nice, very polite person. Her son Alan died in his early 20s in New York, and he's of course, come home to where his mother is, and she gets tired easily after a lot of tours, but he is a jokester. He's quite the prankster, and he will talk almost all night for you. You and him would probably get along just fine, Reggie.
Yeah, part of the
So
with
if you come
with
down to
the
Arkansas, see if you can go to those places, especially Pea Ridge.
oh yeah. What I normally do, or what I have done, it's my hourly job. It kind of keeps me stuck here. But when it comes to the
Sometimes
cemeteries,
I forget that.
what I do is I actually call, like, I'm the exact opposite of most psychic mediums that don't want to know nothing about a place when they go in. Me, I read up on it. I call all the spirits to my apartment. Get to know them before I get there, so they know I'm on my way,
Okay.
and then they're raring and ready to go by the time I get there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's usually what I do.
Okay.
Yeah, and so yeah, it'll be great.
I like to go in places informed also. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
Well,
sometimes
you
forget being retired now that some people have jobs.
yeah, it drives me nuts. So I'm using the universe right now to try and win the Mega Millions, and it's not working
boy.
yet, but it's getting
not
close.
going to work, Reggie.
You never know.
I've thought about
Reggie,
that.
please.
I've tried to get numbers. I've tried to get numbers from the it went up a few months ago to $1 billion. I was trying to get numbers, and nothing was coming through. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
It's not for one's profit.
Exactly. We have one more question here. Does colors play a role in your psychic impressions?
Do colors. I'm not sure how to answer that, because I as far as I don't have the same like abilities a lot of these amazing people do, and it's like why I associate colors. Like the first time that I as a psychic medium without any equipment on. I heard my grandpa and grandma talking to me. Um, he showed up outside, and it was a bright white orb that came floating across the yard towards me. Um, the colors um, that I see are usually um, looking for the right words. They're associated with whatever it is I'm communicating with. Like um, there was there's a story about a rabbit, and when it passed away, um, it was heartbreaking for me. And I was outside, and within a few minutes after it happening, I saw a little brown orb lift up from the sidewalk and just like disappear into my leg, and I could feel the energy just rise. That story I was telling you about being on that balcony, the blue orb, that's protection and love, and safety. One of my abilities, as far as sight goes, when I'm outside, um, I can see them in the daytime too, but they're clear, like they're translucent, I guess maybe is the word for it. At nighttime, it's the same beings, same entities. I look in the sky and I'll see a little twinkle, and I'll look up at it, and I can see a winged being flying down to me. Sometimes their chest and head is illuminated in blue. Sometimes it's green. Sometimes it's red. Green, of course, is healing. Blue is love and light. Um, Red is, I don't look at red as being evil or anything. It's like um, I want to say Uriel's color. Um, um, but yeah, I see different colors within the winged beings that I see. It's so cool to look at, and I know that's where way back in the past when the ancient civilizations were talking to Star Family. I've referred to them as Star Family all along. Um, that's where angels came from. That's where it's obvious because I can see them. When they come down, and if they land right in front of me, man, the energy burst. Woo! It's my whole body just like, yeah. I can feel from the inside out. I can feel my body healing as this energy's going through. Um, but at any given moment, I can go outside and look in the sky, and a twinkle will happen. You know, and during the day, uh, the same kind of twinkle, but I just know somehow I know right where to look, and then this winged being will show up and start, you know. And it's said that Michael um, originated uh, in Andromeda, or around the star system of Andromeda. And I don't really know what his real name is. I firmly believe Michael is just what Christianity came up with to call him at one point or another. But he's very real, and he's never been in a human body or in any kind of a body. He just fights, for the good and love and light. Um, I'm always going to
Well,
apologize if I
Michael
ramble
has
on.
always confused me. Uh, we love listening to you, Reggie.
Oh,
So just keep on rambling as far as I'm concerned.
thank
Michael, the Bible was supposedly written out of the Middle East. So how do you get Michael out of the Middle East? That doesn't happen. I believe that the word Michael, like you say, is probably the English interpretation. That's like many-seeded fruit in the Bible. Everybody says the that Eve tempted Adam with an apple. There are no apples in the Middle East. If Eden was placed now Iraq from the between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, apple trees don't grow there. Many-seeded fruit was said. They just when King James came up there and interpreted it, they just put apple instead of
Oh
many-seeded
yeah.
fruit. Theoretically, they were talking about the pomegranate. So who knows what Michael's Middle Eastern name was? We probably couldn't pronounce it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And Jesus was Yeshua, if I'm not mistaken. I think Yeshua is how his name was pronounced.
Something like that.
Yeah, I'm always teasing my wife because her dad's name is Jesus.
Oh
I looked
yes.
I looked at Christy and I said, I've always looked at Jesus as being my brother, but if he's my father-in-law, does that make God my grandpa? Yeah, I had to have fun with that one because it doesn't matter how many times I look at that name, I think
I bet
Jesus
you
and
do.
not Jesus. but but yeah, yeah. There's a lot of things about that Bible, that I don't know. I just it's a touchy subject for some, and I respect everyone and love everyone unconditionally in what they
Yes.
believe in. And
Yep.
so it's hard for me to talk about, a lot, because I'm always afraid I'm going to offend somebody, and I don't want to do that. It's unconditional love is what I'm all about. The New Testament has got a ton of
What
truth
to
to
be
it.
honest, Reggie, yes.
Yeah.
To be honest, one of the core teachings of Jesus Christ is what you just said about how you
Yeah.
like to be unconditional love. And
Yep.
that's always been my take about Jesus' teachings. This is what we're supposed to do with each other unconditional love.
Right. Right. Doing unto others. Absolutely. Um,
Yes.
and the word
And I believe
unconditional, man.
that's the core
Woo.
Christianity. And people tend to forget it.
Yeah, and the word unconditional means exactly that. Unconditional. You know, you're supposed to unconditionally
Yes.
love the guy
Yes.
that just walked up to you and shot you in the foot. No matter how mad you are at that person, you want to attack him, get the gun out of his hand, you got to love him. You got to turn that other cheek. And that's what he was
Yep.
preaching them. The meek will inherit the earth.
Get me a gun.
Oh, well, you're gonna shoot
Yes.
my foot or the guy that
Uh,
shot me in the foot?
We're going to shoot the guy that shot you in the foot.
Oh, okay. But in the Old Testament, though, I just have a lot of trouble with it, And then again, the bottom line is there were no dinosaurs on the ark.
Oh, come on. Don't blow that out of the
no.
water.
Yeah.
What is going on?
I mean, the T-Rex would have ate all the livestock. Think about it.
That's a myth. He wasn't even this. He was this big.
Yes.
He was a little
But,
guy. He was like about the size of my dog, my son's dog. He was
Now I don't know how to explain it exactly, because I it's been a while so I don't really know the alien races, but we were designed in the Creator's image. It was what He foreseen us as being here. And an alien race designed approximately 15 to 20 humanoids. And once they got rid of the dinosaurs, they put the humanoids on this planet. They were small, too small to make it, and they only lasted for so long. So they started back at the drawing board a few thousand years later, and then they put another 15 or 20 male and female humanoids, a little bit bigger and a little bit stronger, down. And they did this several times over the course of time until they came up with us. And that's my explanation for evolution. That's why thousands of years ago there were small skeletons, and as time went on they got bigger and bigger. And then there was one gigantic one that was here as well. That was way, way bigger than us. But that's how we came to be. And I don't know exactly how to, and then there was a time where Atlantis and Lemuria were here. I firmly believe I was a Lemurian. In one of my reptilian or draconian incarnations, I was a Triceratops. I resonate heavily with those. But yeah, I'm kind of going off in my own little world here. I'm sorry. I automatically apologize. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. I got another question for you. Christian
Okay.
Johnson says, since you associate the galaxies to star family, do you believe that they can come in through wormholes or portals?
Well, that's a hard question to answer. They travel through. It's not necessarily a wormhole or a portal, so to speak. They're at least, if you were to compare humanity's technology, they're at least 2,500 years in human years more advanced than we are. And they are able to travel through this tachyon energy at outlandish amounts of speed. It doesn't matter where you are, they can come straight to you at any point in time. There's like the wormholes. You know how in like the movie Star Wars, how Millennium Falcon hits light speed and it just goes. Well,
Yes,
that's kind of how UFOs travel. UFOs, and whatnot. They can get here just like that. I mean, it's like unreal, and their technology's so advanced. It's crazy. When I first had my awakening approach and happened, and I was getting where I became fully aware of the star family and the UFO versus the spirit, spiritual side of it all, and I was seeing UFOs everywhere. I mean, and I'd seen some of the most amazing. I was going to work one day and I was driving down the middle of the town and I saw a UFO going across the road. Like, is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I'm trying to think of a ship in Star Wars that kind of reminded me of like It was one of these like C-shaped things, and it went across the road like maybe 2 or 3 blocks ahead of me, and I couldn't believe none of the other cars were pulling over or anything. And I'm like, everybody in front of me was driving on like they didn't see it, and maybe it was only for my eyes to see. I don't know, but I watched it disappear behind a tree, and as I'm pulling up on the tree, it's not there, and there is a black helicopter, a flat black helicopter flying in the opposite direction. And I'm like, no way. Did I just see a shape shift in UFO? You got to be kidding me. You know, it is the way I took it is it became a helicopter, and it was flat black. There was no lettering on the side of the helicopter or anything. And that was one of them. I'd seen
There was no
off,
lettering on the helicopter.
not that I could tell. It looked like somebody took.
Lettering is that's required on any
Right.
vehicle. Even the Army has some kind of number or something, or U.S. Army helicopters at the very least, and usually they did an ID number so they know what's going on.
Yeah.
But
Well,
to have
and
a helicopter with no number or nothing on the side of it, that breaks a few laws.
right, right, and well, that's what I was saying. That's why I kind of took it as, maybe that UFO I saw. Maybe I'm the only one seeing the helicopter, possibly. And it just, the ship that I saw was not there, and in its place there's a helicopter going the other way, and I was like, wow. As I said, it was mind blowing. And there was a couple of different times during my awakening that, a ship came over top of me. Where I worked, I was standing outside, and I saw something in the distance. And as it got over me, I could see all these red lights on the bottom of it. And then another night I turned and looked, and there was something coming towards me. And as it went over, I could see red light on the back of it. And then the red light got really bright, and then it just disappeared, like it took off. They were like really watching me. I don't know if I've been abducted in my sleep or not. I think they know better than to take me on the ship, because I'll want to take it over. I want to fly it. I won't want to leave the ship. I'll be too enthralled in all the buttons. But that's just me. But yeah, I've had quite
You and I would have different approaches, but we would both drive them crazy. You want to be the pilot? Take me down to the engine room and explain to me your power.
Oh yeah. Now, one of the things that one of the UFO experiences I had, I'd hear, like this was like the first couple of years, I would hear a lot of starseeds and psychic mediums and that talk about getting downloads. And like, for, I want to say maybe a year or two before my awakening, on into my awakening, and then to this day, it doesn't happen very often, but once in a while, I was thinking that I was getting like maybe a diabetic reaction or something. I don't know if I'm diabetic or not, but I started seeing red and blue and yellow. It was like all the colors of the prism. They look like lightning bolts going across the left side of my eyes. And it would cause me not to be able to see. I would have to sit down, and I could close my eyes, and I'd see all these lightning bolts going across. And I was nervous at one point, because I thought that I was like actually getting ill from something. And then as my awakening progressed, I started noticing that every time that happened, the next day my abilities would increase. I would get a new ability, or an ability would sharpen. And after I had realized that, I actually was thinking about it the next time that it happened. And it was in midsummer. It was like late spring to early summer, somewhere in there. I want to say June, maybe. I started getting those lightning bolts. And I'm like, all right, guys. I just kind of closed my eyes. I said, bring it. And I just let it happen. And it was starting to fade out. And it dawned on me what, I mean, I don't know why it dawned on me, but it did. I jumped up out of the desk chair, still half dizzy from the lightning bolt pattern. I opened the balcony and went right out on the balcony. And this is as it was fading out. I looked up and I saw a saucer. I saw a saucer probably, I don't know, it was at least 1,000 feet up. And as I was watching it, it was slowly disappearing. It was like going straight into the sky. It was like, oh shit, they're onto me. And like, he's onto me, And I went outside and looked straight up, and there it was. And bam, it took off like straight into the atmosphere, just as fast as you can imagine. And that was one of my UFO sightings, was right as this thing was going on with me was dissipating, and it was just a hunch for me to go outside and just look to see if it was being a download from a UFO, or maybe a inner abduction of some sort, where they're like doing something electronically to change something. I don't know. But that was one of the UFO sightings also. And it was kind of neat. And so now I'm always looking, especially if I get that download thing going on. But yeah.
Hmm. Greg pronounces her name much better than I do. Azariana Trudell.
Asriana.
I hope I got that right.
Asriana.
Asriana. I got to say that a few times before I get it right. Asriana Trudell. She says, we can't understand the angels' language. It's an ancient one, and I've heard it and seen them. The names we use are so we can say a name. I can't even how they look or why I was saying them, but the blessing in my soul changed as a result. I look at life differently, and this is her opinion.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of agree with what she said. The only time I saw an angel, I had a couple of them pull me out of a situation, and what I saw was the classic biblical angels. Long flowing white robes, kind of looking like my shirt does, uh, with swords and wings, which is your typical medieval painting of an angel. That's what I saw. I'm sure that was not what they truly looked like, but they cause us to look at something in different ways. We're not meant to see their true form. That's my belief, anyway. What do you think?
Well, the winged beings that I see, like I said, it's an energy, and I always see a different color, like blue, green, or red is typically. I've seen a purple before. And when they come up real close to me, like you can see them, literally see their wings are spread, and they'll stop soaring in. They never flap. They just fly. And
Right. Exactly.
when they approach me, they come down, and they're landing like what would look to be feet first. And when they're real close to me, the colors that I see, it's almost like like LED lights. Like it's within their face and their head, and I can almost see an electronic, like it almost looks Matrix, like the movie Matrix with all the green type colors, that type of thing. That's
Yes.
the face. The face is where I'm seeing these colors at. And they'll come in, and I can just like make out what would be where their face would be within these lights, these like LEDs or whatever. I mean, it's what I'm seeing, and it's so beautiful. It's unbelievable. But yeah, they're just so neat to look at. And the second that I started seeing them now, every time that I go inside a business, like, I stop by a gas station or whatever, if I'm standing outside the car, outside of the place, and it's nighttime, I look up, I look for the twinkle, I look over at it, and here they come flying. And it's like so awesome. Such an awesome thing to look at, and to this day, when I go outside on a clear night, I can look up and I'll see what I believe to be ships or something. People have tried to tell me that they're, I'm seeing a space station or something like that, but I don't believe that's what it is, because but I don't know how to describe it. I've taken some pictures of some of them, but oh, man, there's just so many different ways of telling a story about all this stuff. That's why I'm hesitating right now, because I'm going from one little aspect to another. I almost want to like write a book, but I need somebody that can put all these thoughts together for me to make sense, for people to read. But
it's getting past the old people's bedtime. Did you get my message, Lynn?
No.
You didn't get it's on Messenger.
Oh, okay. I don't have Facebook on. I cut it off trying to speed up the internet a little bit. So
I'm gonna leave. I
don't have my Facebook on.
I'm gonna leave you two. I want to say thank you very much for having me on with Reggie, and I'm going to go to bed because I have a meeting bright and early tomorrow morning. I apologize for it. I owe you one.
Ooh, okay.
And we'll get together after the first of the year.
Greg, there's no need in it. Greg, there's no need apologizing. We all have lives outside of the paranormal and outside of shows, outside of the internet. I understand. Of course, personally, I'm not old. I'm only 66. So I'm.
Yeah, you're not as old as me.
Hopefully, I've got another 25 years ahead of me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to call you old either, because you're proud of yourself.
Good night. Reggie, hang in there.
But
have fun.
Good night. Good night.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yeah, thank you, Greg. I love you.
Love you too. Love you too, Lon. Good night.
Good night, Greg. All right.
Do you want me
Reggie, we've had several comments here. Carol Garcia said.
Go ahead.
Carol Garcia says she fell off a garage into an empty pool, and she knows angels saved her. Carol Garcia said, "Remember, Lyle, thank you, everyone." I guess she's leaving too. Christian Johnson said so many people have said the same thing. People are identifying, Reggie, with what you are saying. So, and Christian Johnson says, great show. So, if on your show, if you just want to talk about what you've talked about on this show, I believe you will have an audience. And if you come in with the evidence that we played earlier, you've got a lot to show.
Do you
I don't know where you want to put this permanently so people can see.
Do you want me to try from my end to play that video you couldn't get downloaded? You want me to try and play it from this end?
Yeah, you're supposed to be able. Guests are supposed to be able to screen share. So if you screen share it, that may work.
Okay. You're gonna find this one. I think, Lynn, you're gonna love this. It's the same cemetery, and it was the second trip that I went there, and I do flashbacks of the first trip, and quite a few of the audience right now has already seen this tonight on the other show, but I'm gonna see if I can open it here, and just let me know if it's not playing correctly. I'll shut it off. The 7 minutes of a 14-minute Facebook Live. This is only in 7 minutes, and then I did flashbacks of the year before to compare the two. Compare the voices and whatnot.
It just popped on my screen. Go ahead and add it. Let's see what happens when I add it.
All right, guys. I'm referring to my star family. I need you to do me a favor. Anyone that's not reincarnated, I'd like to speak to Bill and Anna Moss. If you could bring in Gottlieb and Dorothy Windus.
I love you.
Gottlieb and Dorothy Windus. Ernest and Helen Nerlich. I heard Charlotte last year. I'd like Charlotte and Carl to come forward, the Schultzes. How are you doing, Miss Dorothea?
If Dorothea Manthi's here, I'd like to talk to her as well. Oh, Mary. Hi, Mary. I'd like to see Mary Windus. If I might speak to Henrietta and Frederick Moss, I would like to speak to them as well, if they're available. We're going to be searching for the Anniker's stone. Anyone that can come forward, I'd like them to come forward. Sabrina Anniker and her husband Gustav Anniker. Grant Crawford. I'd love to hear from Augusta Clapstein again. And Herman. And Herman. That's you, huh? All right. Cool. We got Mr. Arnold Dreyer here. Oh, I've missed all of you so much. I miss being out here with you. William Schultz and Bertha. Anyone at rest in the cemetery in human form, if their souls are available, could you please bring them forward? Everybody. I want all 78 of them. John Wakerhauser. Okay. Oh, hi. You're here, John. That's fantastic. Fantastic. All right, Frederick Heike. I need Frederick Heike. I would love to hear from Otto Westfall here. Frederick Cook.
I love you with all my heart.
Frederick Cook. Albert Cook. I'm also wanting to hear from Conrad. Conrad's right here on the ground. Like his stone is broken up. Pauline Roeder. If her young spirit is available, I'd love to talk to her. Pauline. I would also like to talk to Carl and Emma, Albert and Wilma. Frederick? Can somebody tell me whose stone I'm standing in front of? Who is this? So right now we're this is my first initial walk around. I decided to do this time because I'm trying to locate everybody that I couldn't find last year. And so I've gotten to know a few of them. Well, this here is Miss Dorothea right here. Mary Windus right here. There's a couple busted ones here. Now, for anybody that's seen my video, right here, this is where she said, "Wait for me."
You can actually
Wait for me.
fly through and
You guys are amazing. Wait for me.
I don't know how much of that video was real clear to you because it was breaking up on my end pretty good.
I got very little breakup. It was fine.
So what'd you think?
But again, I'm not. That's an impressive video. Now, if you'll excuse me for just a second, I've got to do something on my end. You like to rock on, so this is not going to bother you too much. But I need to do this this time. So hang on for about 30 seconds.
Yeah, I was rocking.
Okay, that's just something. This is supposed to be a 2-hour show, but
Oh yeah.
WLFE and Ted that run Ted Vinsong, who runs this network. Since I do not have a show that follows me, he's an East Coast guy, he's a New York State guy, and there's a show before mine, so I can't start early. You know,
Yeah.
Greg has asked me a couple of times, can we start at 9 o'clock? No, there is a show at 9 o'clock on WLFE, and it confuses when we're both running on the same YouTube channel, which is WLFE DB Radio. Two of them run at the same time. It confuses everything. And especially on WLFEDB.com, it's really confusing with two radio shows running. So he asked me not to start early, but since there's no show starting at 1 a.m. on the East Coast, he lets me run as long as I want to. I have done 5-hour shows. And if I do a 2-hour, 15-minute, 2-hour, 30-minute show, nothing is said to me because I'm not running over anybody. So what I do when I pass 2 hours, I run the little overtime video just to point out, hey, we're in OT. So let's check the comments. I got 2 new comments in chat. I think Christian's talking about your video. That was so cool. And Carol Garcia said it was great here. So where she was watching it on Facebook, she says that was great. So there was no trouble with the replay there. And Christian Johnson says that was so cool. So apparently there was no issues we're seeing it on YouTube. So that's a little bit of feedback on whether the video played or not. Christian Johnson says yes to what I just said. So there you go. People saw that video. People enjoyed that video. So Reggie, thank you for playing that.
Oh, you're very welcome. Very welcome. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some more videos transferred over.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Pete, have you ever heard of Dave Scott?
I think so. Maybe.
He has a late night zone at 11 Central. I guess that's midnight. He's a Vancouver guy. Dave Scott's been in the business for a long time. He does some paranormal, some Bigfoot. Mostly he's a UFO guy. He had a UFO experience. So the UFO guy, he's also a gifted individual. I often tell people dealing with Dave Scott, don't lie to him because he will know better, especially if you're face to face. He can walk by you and read you in a building. So he's not a guy you want to get on his show and really cut up with. He likes a few laughs, but he has on his show, he hit to 4 or 5, I believe, terrestrial radio stations. And so in my intro, I've got adult settings. I've got an adult setting on my YouTube channel. So an occasional nobody cares about. You got warned before the show even started. You got an adult setting on YouTube, but he can't put up because it goes out on terrestrial radio. So he'll cut you off. You start that kind of thing. Other than his rules, his rules, he's a good guy. Listen to him sometime. He's, like I said, he's a big UFO guy. He's on at 11 o'clock. I'm assuming you're on Central Time, aren't you?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. 10 and 11 o'clock, Spaced Out Radio.
Okay.
And Dave Scott, there's your little promo from me. Okay.
Okay. I
Dave's an okay guy. You might want to listen to him, but you can listen to somebody that's new in the business like you are. Listen to a few of his shows and see how he handles himself, and him and his disposition and how he does things is that's not impersonation. I'm not saying you're Dave Scott, but you are learning from a person who's very, very good at what he does.
Yeah, really cool. Yeah, I'll have to watch that for sure. Hey,
So he's on 5 days a week. Yes.
well, I was gonna mention I found a few other short videos on this computer I'm using. Do you want me to show them
Yes.
to you?
Yes.
Okay. You remember the
Yes. If you just load it like you did. Yes.
okay, remember the story I said about the three crows where I caught the EVP of them saying my name out loud? Okay, this is that video. If there's anybody still watching, this is a video, and you'll hear what I used to hear out loud. And I still do hear out loud once in a while, but they're really trying to wake me up, so to speak, at that time. So, but you can actually, I caught,
Okay.
and it's an actual
All right,
EVP of it.
Okay. We have several comments here. Carol says, "Spirit working in your favor tonight." And Don Sassy Partro, hope I'm pronouncing that name right. Sassii. I love people who you just talked about reading people. Get these fakes. I'm assuming she was talking about Dave Scott. Dave Scott definitely not a fake. And that's why I say recommending him for you to listen to. He's very good at what he does. And he doesn't do his abilities on the air. This is just a kind of a personal thing that he does with people when he's at a con. He can read people just passing them by. Assuming she's talking about some of the people who claim powers and stuff that are just pure fakeage. Get these fakes. Donna, I get what you're saying. Yes, others.
And that's actually
I understand what you're saying. What?
Well, I was just going to say that's actually my biggest motivation to do what I do is the fact that you can with the abilities that I've been blessed with, I'm able to actually let people hear spirit say it for themselves. There's no you know what I mean? I can't be if I tell somebody, okay, you want me to call on your grandmother, it's going to be her voice that they hear, and they know her voice. You know what I mean? And whatnot. So, yeah, I don't like the fake.
Right.
Myself.
I understand.
Yep. And
yeah, I appreciate all our. Donna says, "Can you feel energy?"
oh my, yes. I since my awakening started, I had a sore everything when it first started, and I learned how to harness the energy, and it's like a healing energy. Whenever I'm communicating, my body will energize, and I can like feel it healing. And now I feel like I'm 20. I don't have a sore bone,
Oh,
muscle in my body. And yeah, it's the most awesome, electrifying, literally electrifying feeling ever. And it's unbelievable, the feeling I get. And there was one day that I actually took I was energized, and I could feel it in my hands. And I took a piece of paper, and I bent the corner of the piece of paper. And I also did this with a paper clip. I bent the paper clip to make it so that it would rock. And I could actually put my hand without touching the paper. I was moving the paper with the energy that was in my hand. I wasn't even touching the paper, and the little corner of the page was doing this little back and forth with my hand. It was so cool. It's nothing heavy, but it showed the energy that was within my body, and I loved it. I love that feeling.
uh, let me recommend something you can try. Uh, if you see somebody with using, uh, see if you can move them with your mind.
Using what?
Using your mind, see if you can move somebody that's holding a set of dowsing rods in front of you.
Oh,
You know what dowsing rods are, right?
yeah, yeah. I thought about actually getting it. I
See
that's
if you
one
can.
thing I never got, and I was thinking about getting a pair to do that. You know,
Yeah, get somebody else to hold them and let them hold them very still, and see if you can move them. It's a muscle in your mind that because the down rods can pick up on that. Before we get to the video, Donna said, "What about me? Can you pick up her energy over the internet through a chat room? She's on Facebook."
I she's asking if I can pick up her energy.
Yes.
That's one of the abilities that I lack in. I'm just being honest. I don't
Okay.
know. I can read somebody if I'm talking to them on the phone, or if they're in front of me, I can kind of pick up. I'm an empath, but I'm not able to, you know, pick up on an energy. I don't know how to explain that exactly. I mean, if I'm chatting with them in a chat
Uh,
room, I can pick up an energy or a feeling like based on what they're typing to me. But yeah,
right. I think Dave Scott's little gift operates the same way. He can't read somebody through the internet, but when he's face to face, he can read you like a book.
oh yeah.
Uh, Chris Carr said, "What changed when you had your awakening, and did you make personal changes in your life to coincide with it?"
Well, what changed?
Yeah, were there
Leading,
changes in your life?
well, this is okay. This is something that almost nobody knows about. And it's gonna, probably, I'm tearing up thinking about it, really. Um, Before my awakening, I went through, um, it was up until I met Christy and on into that a little bit. I met her in 2016. And in December of 2016, I was finally able, I had figured out that I was going to be moving in with Christy. And that's what pushed me. And again, the universe works in mysterious ways, you know. It pushed me to quit drinking. And the reason why I was so caught up in alcohol is based on a very bad experience in a relationship. My children, at the ages of 3 and 4, were kidnapped by their mother in 2010. And to this day, I've not seen them. But yet I've been paying child support for over a half a decade. And between my grandpa, he raised me, between him passing away and her running off like that without me being able to do anything about it, I fell into a depression. I constantly wanted to die. I was always drinking, and Christy kind of pulled me out of that one. The universe sent us to each other, and then it was a year later, my awakening. Now I was still always depressed, always upset. I stopped Christmases. I stopped all holidays because they weren't the same without my kids around throughout the years. And then I still just saw, I saw a future with Christy and everything, but I just was still searching for purpose.
Reggie, I'm sorry you had to go through all that.
Well, when this awakening hit, the universe just opened up, and I could see it, I could feel it. I was given.
Chris Carr says, "Love you, Reggie." Christian Johnson says, "Oh my God, we're so sorry. That's awful."
Well, when this awakening occurred, it gave me new life to an amazing outlook on everything. It gave me reason. It gave me purpose. And then when I was starting to be able to locate missing people and just, wow, the universe just gifted me with something so tremendous to suit my purpose, I guess is the way, way to word that. Yeah, I'm blessed. and that's the reason why I have such a strong association with the soul of Mother Mary, and such my love for children and the whole nine. And I got everything's clogged now. I apologize. But yeah, you got to have a good cry once in a while.
No apologies necessary.
You got to have that good cry once in a while, when things get tough.
Yes, you do.
And it keeps you reminded of who you are, where you came from, and why the universe may very well have said, well, here you go, buddy. Here you go, hun. They're helping you along, to keep that spirit, so to speak, spirit alive. And
yes.
Yeah, I could talk for hours about this stuff. I'm good. I'm good. It just the love in the room.
You're getting a lot of comments.
Yeah, the love in the room kind
Yes,
of
you're
got
having a
me.
lot of love raining down on you. A lot of that's pressing down. Kristen said, we're all here for your Carol Garcia. What I said earlier, Reggie, about loving you, I meant it. Chris Carr said, you are the real deal. Donna said, you changed your life. So sorry. Carol come up again, said, I can feel your kindness. Uh, also just sent a heart from Facebook. Uh, Reginald, I believe you've got a few gifts, and one of them is empathy.
Oh yeah.
Donna says she's crying. She says she is an empath. She feels you. And I believe what you've got is a slight connection with her through the internet that can happen when two empaths are talking to each other, or you're not so much talking, but she's listening to you. And I've got some empathic abilities myself, and I'm very sorry for your pain, but uh, the powers that be, whatever you believe in, and whatever everybody else believes in, have handed you a second chance.
Oh yeah.
Make
Oh
the
yeah.
most of it, and just keep on going down the path you're going to, and you're going down now, and you will go a long ways.
I just got to hold my patience for this hourly job to end someday.
Well,
I need more time.
I am, yeah. Maybe the universe will give you a lot more time. I'm 66. The downside is a lot more time behind me than in front of me. I've only got at most 20, 25 decent years. And even after 15 or 18 more, there's not going to be a whole lot of what you see here.
Yeah, I've pretty much I know
where I'm going.
this is gonna sound kind of funny, but I've made it a point to explain to the creator that I'm not going. I'm going to break the world record for human life, 125, whatever it is, and I'm not going. You shoot me in the chest, I will just heal that thing right out of me, and I'm going to keep walking.
Well,
I'm like determined. I do not want to. I got so much that I have to do here. You know, there's too much hatred in the world.
Well,
and I just can't leave this planet just yet. So,
well, stick around. We're all the better off for you sticking around.
Oh, thank you so much. You're an amazing guy.
I think that everybody. I think everybody meeting you, and this includes me,
do that hair
is gifted from the cosmos. Oh yeah,
yeah. We got the same thing going on, but mine's not all white yet.
Mine is quite white, and it's also baby thin. I don't have. I've never had coarse hair. I always had baby thin hair. Now it's really thin.
Yeah, same here.
Carol Garcia's agreeing with me. She says definitely stick around. I think you have got the path you need to be on the rest of your life, and I can kind of go along with what you're saying. Gail and I, my wife and I, met on the internet, and I was in a bad way. I just lost a job. I just kind of lost a girlfriend to she was slowly dying of cancer, and she did not want to hang around where I was living. She wanted to go out to where her grandfather was out in out west. I don't remember the state now. So I had been talking with Gail for a while, and I just proposed to her in a room on the internet, and she said yes in the chat room on the internet. And a couple months later, I packed up everything our own and moved to Chicago in November. And we had only met once face to face. One. Now it was for a weekend. We were not alone. She was in a room with a friend of hers from California. But we were. You ever heard of Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Oh yeah. Yep.
You ever heard of the Arnold? It's a bodybuilding competition in Columbus, Ohio.
Maybe I might have heard of that one.
It's one of the, if not the biggest bodybuilding competition there is. It's bodybuilding. He has weightlifting. He has gymnastics. He has archery, arm wrestling, just about you name it in bodybuilding associated sports, strength sports, happens in Columbus, Ohio over 3 days, right at the end of April, March. And Gail was a power lifter and I was a photographer. We got together at the Arnold, got to know each other, watched Kevin Costner's movie The Untouchables, both 2 nights. And 2 months later, I proposed. And my life has been guiding this way to put me in this chair ever since. She's the one that said, go out and make friends. I said, okay, I've always wanted to go full time into the paranormal. So here I am.
Oh yeah.
And here she's sitting in the living room now, waiting on me to finish this show, with fantastic patience. So
yeah.
I can understand second chances because I got one. And now my life is spent, so she's happy. We moved to Arkansas because I did the math. I can do math, some anyway. Algebra confuses me, but anyway, I can add. But I started looking at what she was going to get Social Security wise, and what I was going to get, and it wasn't adding up to live in Chicago. Not with about 1900, or was it 2900 dollars in taxes every 6 months for property taxes to keep the house.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So she came in one day and just said, hey, I just walked up to her, hey, I sold your car. We need to go fill out the paperwork. And then about 3 or 4 weeks later, I just walked up to her. I said, I sold the house, so you need to find your title so we can sign that over to and finalize the sale. And she said, where are we going to live when we sell the house? And I said, we're going to Arkansas where property taxes are cheaper.
Oh yeah. Oh.
And I came down here and managed to swing a deal. I live on 4 acres of land that 7 years ago we paid the going price for 4 acres here. That's what we paid for this property. This house was on there. The house came to, and all we did was basically pay for the property.
Oh yeah.
$18,500 for 4 acres of land and a house.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You'd be surprised what comes out of the woodwork if you just look a little. Yep.
Yep. And I looked, and the property taxes down here run us slightly less than $200 a year, instead of almost $3,000 every 6 months in Chicago.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
So
I'd be like, I want to take care of my property.
This is what
tax.
I got it, Gail, to get into.
I'd go out and grab a paper route. Here, I'm going to pay the property. Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, we're trying to get out of Wisconsin too, because it's just what it is with me is I don't like. I grew up in Illinois, and I'm done with winter. I don't want winter no more. And so I
I know
want to
what
go.
you mean. I
Everything
know what you mean.
in Wisconsin's perfect except cold. And the way that the weather
Yes.
changes so much, my sinuses don't work well with it. And so
Shit.
I want to go to Texas. That's where her whole family is El Paso. And it'll
There you
get me
go. There you
closer.
go.
It'll get me closer to Arizona and Tombstone and all those places. And so, yeah,
There's a lot of
yeah.
places in Texas to investigate. The you remember the halftime I wrote when I was talking about the Avs when I was talking about Phoenix Jansen?
I think so.
She lives in Texas. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah,
Carol Garcia
I
says, I
can't
live in New
wait.
Jersey. The price of the house here is over 600,000 for a 2-bedroom. Carol, let me tell you something. I feel to make you feel really bad. Our house, it was built onto, it was a smaller house. I am in the smallest bedroom. It's a 12 by 12. And I use it for a studio and this, that, and the other. Our den is the room next to this one. That is a 12. I took the closet out of it. It was partially built anyway, no doors. So I just kind of took a little bit of wall down and made it a 12 by 15 den. We have about a 20 by 20 living room. We have a 5 by 10 laundry room. Our kitchen is 12 by 24. And our bedroom is 12 by 18 with a walk-in closet that is a full width of 12 feet by 5 feet. And this house was basically free with us simply paying for the property, 4 acres of property.
That's so cool.
So now Carol Garcia is going to be sending me hate mail to my email. And down here we're far enough north to get a little bit of snow. Yeah, she says the size of the property was enough. Now you're really making me sick. We're only here about 125, maybe 130 feet above sea level. We do have 4 seasons here. The average temperature during the winter is about 50 degrees. That's the average, they say. Although it does get colder. Of course, everybody has a little bit of winter. You get a little snow here, maybe a little bit of ice once in a while, but the snow is completely gone within a day or so. So it's not like you got to go out and shovel it and drive by. Like there's in Chicago, I've seen snow up to my shoulders, and you just walk through the tunnel in the snow, and you just don't have that down here. It doesn't last that long. It's gone. And 125 feet above sea level, and from my front porch, going the speed limit, I can be on Bourbon Street in 6 hours.
Oh.
And that's including stopping for gas. And Carol says, I knew I was in the wrong part of the country. Yes, this is a lot of farmland here. Corn's a little bit expensive because they're really good corn. I got some Mennonites here, and that's where we usually get our corn. And they grow a crossbreed corn, it's half white, half yellow. And when you cream it, it comes out like a golden brick color, like you've got a bar of gold in the freezer bag, and it keeps very well in the freezer. And I got 6 gallon bags of frozen cream corn. This is also the rice capital of the United States. Most rice that's sold here, we're the big. Louisiana gets some, Mississippi gets some. Arkansas is the biggest supplier of rice to the United States, to China of all people. And Mississippi River. And I have a bayou. You saw it in the intro. The Bartholomew Bayou is less than a quarter of a mile to my house. And Cane Creek Township, it's that's a lot of this county. The Cane Creek, the creek, is right down the hill from me. And by the way, riverboats used to run on Bartholomew Bayou. So, and this was all having a lot of water here, a bayou and a creek. This was Indian territory. So there's a lot of Indian spirits. Sometimes I hear flute playing. So that's basically where I live. So Carol Garcia, living close to New York City. I lived in Chicago 14 and a half years, but the wife was born there. I'm married as a boy, but she was tired of the snow, tired of the winters. 14 and a half years was enough winter for me. And we said, to hell with it. Let's go down to Arkansas and see what we can do in the creek. And I stumbled into this place. So this is where I'm identifying with you, Reginald. It sounds like a lot of personal stuff on my account, but this was God, the creator, space, the universe, giving me a second chance, because Gail was my second wife. And did not have a happy marriage in the first one. We finally split up. It just was not a good thing. I was 10 years single, and it was just girl after girl after girl. I dated a whole bunch of strippers. Sounded like a horrible life. I too. So I can kind of identify with everything you were talking early, Richie. So I'm kind of empathetic with you about your personal stuff. And I can kind of identify with it, kind of been there and done that too. Now, I never had kids, but I can certainly understand your pain in that, because I've seen other people have. So I'm really sorry that you had to go through that. But I welcome you in your what I would call my second life.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm certain that I'll get to see him. That's a new confidence I've also gotten, and so
there you go.
It'll come. They were 3 and 4, and now they're 15 and 17, and they're getting ready to spread their wings, and they'll come and find me. And so,
they will come to you. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and go this video you loaded up. It popped up quite a while ago, but we got to talking. So let's go ahead and play it right now.
Okay, and this is where you can hear my guide say my name out loud. And this is a true EVP. This isn't with a spirit box.
Okay.
It was caught with my phone. I played it several times, turning it up a little at a time. Could you hear her?
Faintly, but me hearing something. I explained this to very few people. Uh, my hearing was a little uh, screwed up to start with. When I was a kid, I could hear a dog whistle,
Oh,
but I couldn't hear bass, and which is weird. I failed several hearing tests because until the testers realized that bass is just a strange thing to me. I feel it, but I can't hear it. Yeah, I was a DJ for several years. I would have to get other DJs to come in and set my equalizers for me uh, for normal hearing because I couldn't do it myself because I would turn the bass up so loud it was almost tearing up speakers because I felt that I couldn't hear it.
and
But
here's
with
a
age, there with age, high pitch hearing goes away. So at 66, my high pitch hearing is gone. So all I hear is mid range stuff. EVPs are something I don't even try to do because I miss so much stuff.
oh, okay.
When I listen to ghost boxes, I don't hear a lot of it because I can't hear bass sounds. I cannot hear high pitch sounds. All I hear is a little bit of mid range. And the mid range is starting to fade out of my right ear. So
And I
I'm probably, if I
discovered.
live another 15, 16 years, I will probably be near death. Near, not dead, but death, not being able to hear.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I've been. I'm a guitarist, and so like the high pitches and that. I get this frequency, like really high pitch frequency, that happens, like when spirit are around. You can like your ears ringing,
Mm-hmm.
and none of the frequencies really like affect me too bad. Like it doesn't hurt my ears. Um, uh, and oh, cat's meowing.
I hear a cat.
But
I hear a cat.
yeah, he's our 19-year-old boy, Skeeter. Come here, buddy. You're gonna be on TV for a second. This is Skeeter, everyone.
Hey, hello, Skater.
He was on his way to his food bowl. Uh, but
I never turn down the opportunity on this show for somebody to put one of their fur buddies up.
uh, yeah, we have two bearded dragons as well, and they're kind of cool.
Ah,
You got a male and a female.
interesting.
And you're talking about like high pitches and things. I figured out that,
Yes.
this is going to end up happening on one of the episodes. I don't know what episode of the Perfectly Normal Paranormal Communications, but one of the worst spirit boxes that ever came out was the SB11. It doesn't hardly pick up anything at all. So what I do is I figured out that if I use it for percussion, I was like, I actually set the sweep at a rate that I can play the guitar with, and if I run it through my 400-watt guitar amp, if I play certain frequencies and guitar chords, I found that they can speak through it.
Really?
And yeah, I could actually, I would be trying to talk to them, and I might get one little hello out of an SB11, one hi here or there. You know, they might have one word come through. I can pick up the guitar and start playing with the sweep, and they're able to use the frequency of the sound of the guitar to talk. And it's kind of a
Wow.
something that I stumbled across I thought would work, and it did. It just happened to work. But I came across a couple more shorter videos if you want to see them. Everybody's heard of the Black Dahlia.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Okay, well, this is Miss Elizabeth saying her name quite clear when I requested to talk to her. It's been a while ago. If you want to play that one, go
Okay.
ahead. People will like to hear that one, I'm sure.
All right.
I don't know if it's the one I set to music when I was calling her in or not,
Okay.
but because this is one of my older.
Okay.
Uh,
Great.
it was when I was first learning how to video edit, and so everything's kind of dull looking. I don't remember if I put in music on this one or not.
That's Elizabeth Ann Short. Born July 29th, 1924. Disappeared on January 9th, 1947, and was found passed away January 15th, 1947, at the age of 22. Elizabeth Ann Short. Can you please come forward and talk to me a minute? Elizabeth Ann Short? Can you say your name for me?
Elizabeth?
Thank you, honey. Elizabeth Ann Short?
She's asking if I called her. That's Prime saying that's her spirit in the room.
Can you say your name for me? For me? For me?
And then at
Can
the
you
end,
say your name for me?
Avia says that's incredible at the end of it.
Elizabeth? Elizabeth? Elizabeth?
Can you say your name for me?
Elizabeth?
Thank you, honey.
Yeah, that was like one of the first videos I ever made.
That was.
I didn't hear you.
I said that was interesting.
Yeah, yeah. It's like,
Carol
you know,
said
after
that's
all this,
incredible.
yeah, I did.
Christian
Like,
Johnson says that's crazy cool.
here's a cute one. Let's see. Here's a cute one. It involves the cat. This is Luther and Madeline. When I said I first, like, when I came out of that fear and started talking to him and asked how many were with me, Luther says he's going to check to see how many, and then she says 11. And then I made this video with our cat in it because the third voice speaks up and says, and a cat. So they tell me that there's 11 and a cat. And it's kind of a cool video. Yeah, it's a cool one. I just sent it in to you.
Okay. Here we go.
I added some cool sound effects. That's white noise slowed down drastically. So cool. Oh my god, it's such a cool sound. How many are here with me now? 11. How many are here with me now? $11. I love that one. Just a little thing. Yeah, it's such a cool sound I made at the end of that video in the beginning. that sound. That sound is the sound of SB7 Spirit Box. The sweeps slowed down to 5% of the speed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what makes it. It's such a medieval, like thunderous sound to it. So cool. But yeah, I'm kind of happy I found these old ones.
Kind of sounds like a Led Zeppelin drum solo.
Oh yeah. Now, the one I told you guys a story about my awakening. There's actually two parts to it. Remember the light bulb box I said that fell off the wall? Okay.
Right.
The second part of that is 6 months later, a potted plant, an artificial plant, was actually on top of that same light bulb box in the back. And I went up front to the people that I worked with, and I'm like, okay, you're just being funny now. You guys messing with me? Laying that plant on the side of that box like that? And they said that they weren't. You know, I was getting them to a point of irritation because I'm like, come on, And then finally, I just went in and I looked at the security footage, and the potted plant came out from behind the wall by itself and flew out and landed onto the light bulb box. It was another like, but this is the first. This is the actual light bulb box, the original video I made, and you're gonna see point blank that it was not moved by anybody. Nobody was in the building, and I took all the security footage. I've remade all these videos you're seeing. I've remade them with my other computer with better wording and stuff. But that's the one I just put in, was my original one I made of that. If you want to play it, I don't think there's any sound. I don't think there's any sound to it unless I put background music, but I'm not sure. But you'll actually see this box. This is during my awakening. This is one of the first things that ever happened during my awakening. I'm not sure if I haven't played this version of the video in a long time, so I'm not sure what's on it. Are you able to see it?
Oh yeah, it's playing. Let's watch. I'm watching it.
That potted plant up behind the wall on top is the one that came out like 8 months later. Just popped right onto it. On my end, the video keeps freezing up, so I don't know where it's at in the video on your end.
On my end, it's halfway through. I'm looking at a Pepsi logo.
Yeah, up in the upper left or right hand corners where the box is from that camera, and you'll see it flip over at 7:48 and 44 seconds.
Okay, it's reading 7:48, I think 10. 44 there, you got an arrow.
Yep.
And it moved. Not the arrow, what it was pointing to moved.
Yeah, that's the box flipping over. It's the back of that bowling alley. Yeah, I'm not being able to watch any of these videos from my end. It's all freezing up on this slow computer I'm on. So wherever it's at in your end is...
Well, the The bar is still moving. It's about 3/4 way through the video now.
Is it froze on your end too?
No, the picture is not moving. All I'm seeing is the arrow where it moved. But
so it must have froze up.
The line at the bottom is moving.
Yeah, it must have froze up.
The video itself is not moving.
I just backed it up. Let me see if I didn't know I could control it from here.
Okay, now it's okay.
Yeah, for some reason it's not it's probably just taking time to load up. Is what it's doing. Did you see the box actually fall, or was your video frozen?
Yes, I actually saw the box fall.
Yeah, because the video's got and I redid a new one with my other computer. It shows the arcade and how no one went in or out. It shows up both sides of the bowling alley where on the aisle where no one went in or out. It shows that box just flipping over, and then from this angle on by lane 12, it shows the box flipping over, and you can see it like just past those ladders that are standing there on the top right. But yeah, it's all frozen on my end.
Now, Carol Garcia says there's apparently frozen at her end. She said it never fell. I saw it, but then again, it's kind of loaded into my StreamYard, so I may have a faster look at it. Plus, I'm watching it on a laptop, which is what you run my show on. It's a fairly new laptop. It's about a year old, and it's got a pretty fast chip in it. So it's a pretty fast computer itself.
Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to find the
connection is slow.
I'm actually moving it around right now, trying to find a. Yeah, that video is not playing correct. Oh, right. there it goes. Yeah, it just like started going.
There it goes.
Yeah. But yeah, it just came down on its own out of nowhere. 7 in the morning.
Well,
yeah, it was something else. But yeah, I'll have to like post that. I'll have to post that. Anybody that's watching the show, Reginald Randall, and I've got like a blue face for the. I've got several accounts, and I've got like a blue alien face side profile on my Led to the Light Productions Facebook. And if you want to send me a friend request, that entire friends list is specifically aimed towards people I'm inviting into that group. So if you look at the friends list, there's about 20 people that are not in my group. That's just because they're either too busy or whatever, and they haven't accepted the invite yet. And so if you send an invite, a friend request to there, I'll accept it, refresh the page, go to the group, and invite you right into the group. And then a lot of these, videos. Go ahead.
It's 1:14 here in Central Time Zone. Well, I think we need to go ahead and call it quits. We've gone for 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm sucking down rock stars. I stay awake until about 4 a.m. or 5, and then I sleep from like 4 to 9.
Oh wow,
something like that. 4 to 8, 4 to 9. And then I'm up all day, and so
that's only 4 or 5 hours sleep.
Yeah, I've been having more trouble lately, but I've been trying to like remote view and everything, and I'm always asking them to like take me on the ship when I go to sleep, and things like that. So I'm like waking up every 2 hours now all the time. I'm getting startled awake or something's going on, and so my sleeping's kind of been going back and forth a little bit. But I just I don't know.
I understand.
Spend too much time at that hourly job, man. I need all the waking hours I can get, and so.
Yeah.
But okay. You don't have any idea how much I appreciate you having me on your show. Thank you so much.
You don't know how much I appreciate you being here. I'm glad Craig and I do it together. Uh, he said, let's have a special guest. I don't know if you saw the banner I made that was on Facebook
Yeah.
advertising the show. I did say that appearing tonight, Greg Haas, and with a special guest, and had your name up there with a kind of Christmassy background.
Oh yeah.
By the way, if you want to make banners, like that for your show, go to Carvana. I'm. They've got a lot more. If you bells and whistles, if you send them a little bit of money and actually open an account there. I use the free version for now. Probably later on, I will send them a little bit of cash so I can use some of their other templates to make some better looking banners. But it's specifically a banner making program. So that's something you might want to consider for your show. And one of them is specifically for Facebook posts, and it's designed to do what I do with it, and that's posted on Facebook to advertise your show. So Carvana does that, and it's real easy. I can stir up a banner for a show in 15-20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And a nice looking banner. Let's see, where is that? I showed it earlier. This one right here.
Oh yeah.
That's not a Carvana. That's something she sent me. Oh, here it is. Here's the one I want to show. This is for Greg's appearance 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember it.
This was using a Carvana background, and with a Christmassy theme in the back, and I just used their tech programming and put all that and his picture on there, and that's a nice looking Facebook post.
Oh yeah. Yep.
This right here is the very part of the show. This was you can't see it because we're in front of it, because this is the back. But I made this provided by StreamYard and put my name at the bottom of it, advertising the from StreamYard.
Oh yeah.
Oh. So if you want to make banners to promote your show, go to Carvana. I say Carvana, Canva. Excuse me.
Canva.
Canva.
Okay.
Canva. Canva.com.
Okay.
So see, I made this one. It just because it has their logo, and put it in hot pink down here, made with Canva, and you like things. So I left the good night on here. I use that as a closer for the show.
Oh yeah. At Canva.com.
So you can do a lot. And I'm learning a lot using StreamYard, and then Canva, and then this site. There's their.com. Felician, FESLIYAN Studios.com. you can add music to your StreamYard account
Oh,
that
okay.
is copyrighted by this studio, and they just ask for donations. So to send them a donation, and they'll approve your YouTube account, put it on their list that yes, you can use their copyrighted music. And the reason they have copyright, he makes it himself. You're a musician yourself. You understand that.
Oh yeah. Yep. Now I
So
have I actually have an annual fee that I just started paying for. It's called Epidemic Sounds, and it's nothing but music tracks, and it's got some pretty cool metal. I like speed metal and metal, you know, that real hard hitting stuff.
This one has kind of theme music. I got mostly scary music from them, Halloween type music. So that's the reason I use them.
Oh yeah. You said your wife was a power lifter, right?
Mm-hmm.
You better get off of
yes.
She'll lift you right out of
it. Years ago. Do what now?
I was just teasing. I said she's going to power lift you right out of that chair if you don't get off the show.
Yeah, I had. Yes. She stays up till I get off the show. Then she goes to bed, and tonight I'm probably going to bed with her. She's of course retired now. She's 60. But of course, we got to know each other 23 years ago now. We've been married, got married 2001. So we've been married 21 years now.
Wow.
And in her prime, she could bench right at 200. And she could deadlift. She could deadlift almost just short of 4.
Wow. Wow. That's so
yes.
cool. Don't ever lose an argument with
her. The key that I use in not losing an argument with her is don't start one.
Yeah, man, that's the kind of the way
there's no losing. You can't lose something you don't start.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, my wife, she's a Latina. She's got that Hispanic attitude when she gets into it, and she started recently. She drives dump trucks. She's like, 4'11", and she's a dump truck driver during the summer. She pretty tough.
Wow.
Tough little lady. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this right here, that's us. That's me. That's Gail and I in New Orleans. Taken with a full spectrum camera. So both in mixed marriages. You're married to a Latino, and I'm married to a black.
Oh. Oh yeah, it's all about the soul.
So we have melatonin in the skin. That's all that is.
Yep.
Christian Johnson said, "Tough cookie." Could have been talking about either one of our wives. Gail does nothing to do with my ghost hunting. Although she is a little bit of a sensitive, she doesn't like going places with child spirits because child spirits tend to look at her as a big nanny, and they all come up to her, want to hold her hand or get hugs from her. So she tries to stay away from where there's child spirits.
Oh. Yeah, Christy's a sensitive too, but when she was younger, she was very fearful of it, and so she kind of closed off the abilities a little bit. She's still interested in all the paranormal stuff, but she watches it quite often, but she doesn't like open up like she did when she was younger.
Right. But most people, whoa, excuse me. Wow. Wow. Definitely time for me to go.
Oh, okay. Grab something to drink.
But most people close up. Most people close up as they become adults.
Well, we'll get off of here so you can get some rest.
And that's a problem. And you've got to overcome that if you want to get into the paranormal. I've overcome it. Other people have overcome it. Some people in the chat room have overcome it, and you've overcome it. So it's one of those things of becoming. When you're a child, you see spirits all the time. You're around the spirit world because you're open-minded to it. It's just the teachings that we have as we become adults that with adults that telling us as children that doesn't exist. You're seeing things. This is your imagination.
Oh yeah.
And we start denying things around us. Where if you open back up and accept it, you can just be surprised at what you can see. People say, what's the most valuable tool that you can during a paranormal investigation? That's easy, an open mind.
Yep.
The human brain is your best paranormal tool.
Oh yeah.
If you can open it up and just accept what's coming in, you can hear, see, and feel an amazing amount of things that are out there.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And you're able to do that. So you are gifted in that area, and I commend you for that.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
And it's been a real pleasure having you on tonight.
I couldn't tell you how.
And I think I need to get out of here.
I couldn't tell you how much of an honor it's been to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, the honor and the pleasure has been all mine in hosting you. Look forward to this in the future, and I wish you well with your show. Maybe I can appear on your show one night, and I definitely would love to welcome you back on this show.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, I yeah.
Now the StreamYard, is offering new functions. They're advertising it because what we did tonight, me loading up a video, or like you did, loading it yourself, is something all new. We couldn't have done this 2 months ago on StreamYard. That option was not available. So I'd like to thank StreamYard for opening up their programming and allowing us to do things like we did tonight.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna try and get some
So,
more. Now that I know what we can do, I'm gonna like try and get some more videos like moved over from one computer to the other, and maybe start doing this from a little faster of a computer. This is an older computer I'm using, so it's a little slow.
ah,
It was freezing up the
I
video
understand
on my
that.
end all night long, but everyone else it was working for them. But
Yep.
okay, well we better get off of here. We could probably talk all day.
I think we could stay up all night, but I'm losing my voice, as you can tell.
Oh
So
yeah.
I need to get off here. By the way, you said you were doing something to stay awake in the blue cup here that I'm out of. Uh, this has been. Some people say you must have some scotch or something in there. Nope, it's a southern beverage. By the way, I didn't tell you this. I think Greg knows. I'm to Chicago, so I'm a native Georgian, living here in the South again in Arkansas. But everybody drinks sweet tea.
Oh, okay.
So you drink sweet tea. Uh, it's got a lot of more than coffee, and of course with the sugar in it, you can be up a while.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Now over here in uh, my little dead guy cup, over here it says spooky. This is water, straight up water, nothing else added. And our water's kind of strange here because it comes from a really deep well. Basically, it's almost bottled water because they don't add that much chlorine. And you don't have to. It comes from an extremely deep well. But anyway, let me let you go, and I'll shut down the show. I really thank you for being here tonight, and I look forward to you being here again. And if you get some more videos up, uh, we'll try to share them out. We've had a lot of people watching your videos tonight. They've really appreciated you sharing some of your feelings like you did earlier, sharing your videos. So you've got an audience, and I think you're increasing your fan base by simply appearing here tonight. And Carol Garcia says thank you so much. Uh, Kristen Johnson likes her sweet tea too. A lot of people love that. It's a Southern delicacy. It's a Southern beverage, and being a native Southerner, uh, it's almost a religious thing. Just a little bit of lemon in it. Some people like a little bit more. Some people don't like the lemon at all. But I put a little bit of lemon in mine. Dark Horse Paranormal Production says, "Great job, Reg. Lynn, please reach out to us." Okay. Dark Horse Paranormal, I will get in touch with you. Kristen Johnson's part Texan. So that's where you want to be. You want to get down south where you said your wife's from. And now
Oh yeah.
if you go to Texas, you got to get rid of that baseball cap and get you a good cowboy hat.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm good at riding a horse, but I've never really done a cowboy hat before. Yeah, I'm good with a horse though.
Can you shoot a revolver?
Rifle.
How good are you with a gun?
I'm like a sniper with a rifle.
How about a pistol?
Not bad.
Good.
Not bad. But yeah, I'm more of a rifle shooter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to scare people in Texas? go to a gun store and buy a pistol, a revolver, and instead of putting it on your hip like the police officers wear, where you just got it at belt level, put it on the other side of your body and cross draw. Like Wild Bill Hickok did that, and also Doc Holliday did that.
Oh, okay.
That scares people.
Oh,
well,
I
the
would
best
be.
pistoliers in history, you'd be.
Oh, I was saying I would throw them off anyway because I'm a left-hander.
What you do is you would have your this on the right side, and a lot of people think that you raise up your pistol and you would do it left-handed. This is my left hand, and shoot straight in front of you. You don't present a straight target when you're shooting at somebody. You want to do it to the side. So you would, again, using your left hand, like I'm using now, you would reach to your right side, pull the gun out, and hold it straight out to you like that, and look down your weapon, and you're showing your side to your opponent. And they got a much narrower target to shoot. It's harder to hit you.
Yeah. Yep.
This is why Wyatt Earp did not get hit at the OK Corral or during the Vendetta ride. When he got shot at a lot, his jacket got hit, so his coat got hit several times. He didn't, because he was always, of course, at that one point at the wash during the Vendetta ride, he had loosened his gun belt for comfort while he was riding his horse. You can imagine wearing a gun horse, having a horse yourself. He'd loosened his gun belt, and when he jumped off his horse and got at fire, his gun belt basically fell to his knees.
Oh, wow!
If you can imagine trying to draw his gun, and his gun belt falls, his feet hit the ground, his gun belt falls to his knees. He's trying to hold his horse, draw his gun, and pull his gun belt all up at the same time. And all this time he's being shot at.
Man. Oh.
So that's a little secret to gunfighting, and that's why if you go get a pistol and hook it up as a cross draw, you'll scare the hell out of everybody wherever you buy the gun.
Oh.
Because everybody automatically thinks, "Oh, here's a pistol here." So if you move down here, move down to Texas with your wife, you've got a lot of places in Texas. You're not that far from Arizona, New Mexico. There's a lot of places out there to investigate.
Oh yeah. I keep telling Christy I'm gonna go out to the mountains, and I'm gonna pet a rattlesnake. That's one of my goals is to pet a rattlesnake.
Good luck with that. Good luck.
Of course, I'm teasing. I'm not going to go anywhere near a rattlesnake.
Come down here to Arkansas, try to pet a copperhead.
Oh yeah.
Not intentionally.
Yeah.
If you go to Texas and walk around a whole lot, you may come close to one without knowing about it.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Down here, it's copperheads, a little bit smaller, but fairly deadly snake. Now, a rattlesnake can go right through your boots. if you wear a good set of work boots or a good set of cowboy boots, a copper, because it's shorter steak, smaller steak, their fangs are much smaller. They can't go through a good boot. But a rattlesnake, a standard leather boot, they've got their fangs can go right through it and pop you in the leg without you, and you'll never know that they're there until all of a sudden your legs start swelling up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Of course, I live out in the country, and our regular doctor here, we're outside of town is 2,200 people. By the way, if you look up Star City, Arkansas, I live about 5 miles outside the city, and he told us to start with when we came down here. So if you get bit by a copperhead, call an ambulance. You need to be put in the hospital for. If you get bit by a rattlesnake, stick your head between your legs and kiss your butt goodbye, because an ambulance is not going to get to you in time. Because they'll have to pick you up and take you. It is about 30 miles from here to a hospital. And you won't live that long. If a rattlesnake really pops you, some people have got bit in one of the extremities. They get bit by the ankle or get bit in the wrist or forearms, and they have lived through it, a rattlesnake bite, without antivenom. But 9 times out of 10, a rattlesnake pops you really good and it gets in your bloodstream, it's going to go to your heart and stop your heart.
Oh yeah.
So,
okay.
Somebody said you're drinking guy's juice over there, babe. Krista says now she's going to have nightmares of snakes. I guess we shouldn't have started that.
Yeah, I'm going to be getting one.
Reggie.
Huh?
What?
Oh, I was going to say
Getting
I'm
one
going to
what?
be. I'm getting here shortly. I'm going to get a Honduras milk snake, and it looks like the coral snake.
Okay.
You know, the most poisonous one.
Right.
Only the
Right.
stripings in a different order. I just think they
Right.
look so cool. I want one.
Coral snake looks cool. I almost got bit by one once. I had my feet on the concrete, and just off the concrete, I looked down by my foot, and within 3 inches of my foot, there was a snake. He did not bite me because I did not step on him, but I'd stepped right in front of him, and he just stopped, hoping I didn't see. But a coral snake has got the bright striping on him, and I could see him. So, needless to say, I moved very quickly away from that particular snake.
Oh yeah.
If he'd bit me a ways from any kind of help at all, that would just been I'd have died right there.
Oh yeah.
And that was back in Georgia.
Yep.
Beautiful snakes, but you don't want to get bit by one. So the snake you're talking about, yeah, it looks like a coral snake, except that they're in different order. There's a rhyme. I don't remember it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't either. But yeah, it looks the same, but it's just in a different order of the rings. And so
something orange before black, or if it's the other way, kill a fellow, or something. It's a cute little rhyme. It just fails me. All right. If you see me on Facebook, just say hi, or whatever. Just
okay.
I don't even know if we're friends or not, because we are.
We are
through Greg.
I think you're in my group, aren't you?
Okay.
I think you're in my group.
Friends. I've got. I'm not sure. I may be. I belong to so many groups.
Look at your notifications.
5,000 friends on Facebook.
Yeah, look at your
Okay.
notifications. If you
All
see
right.
Led to the Light, that's my group. I sent an invite.
Okay. Oh, Christian
Okay.
Johnson's God's Juice, Diet Coke. Not into Diet Coke, folks. Sorry. I like my sweet tea. All right. Oh, by the way, my hometown is Columbus, Georgia. By the just for anybody listening, talking about Coke. Columbus, Georgia is also the hometown of Coca-Cola. It was actually born there. Now it became popular in Atlanta and became a viable company when it moved to Atlanta. Invented in Columbus, Georgia.
Huh.
That's where I was born and raised. All right. Good night, Reggie.
Oh yeah. I thought you were still reading comments.
One
So
more thing.
I got all quiet because
No.
Yeah. No. Have a good night.
Reggie, tell us one more time where people can reach you.
Well, about the only place you can find me at the moment is Led to the Light Productions on Facebook. It's just a place where I put my videos in. You know, when I come up with something, I put a video in. It's Led to the Light Productions on Facebook, and I have several accounts that are in my name. Reginald Randall. It's got the one with Led to the Light it's got like the side profile of a blue head or an alien type looking blue avatar, you could call it. You know, the side profile is the one you want to send a request to. And then I'll send as soon as I accept the request. As soon as I accept the request, I'll go right into the group and send an invite to the group to whoever it is. I see Carol Garcia asked to join just now. I saw it on my
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Oh yeah.
So, all right, we'll see you next time, and there will be a next time.
Oh yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Have a good night or a good morning.
Wait. Yeah. Wave good morning to everybody. There you go.
All right.
Carol Garcia says good night, everybody. Let me get out of here.
Oh yeah. Have a good night.
Good night. Appreciate it. You too. All right, everybody. It's just me, not to be me. What in the wide world of sports? This is just nuts.
They don't want us to stop.
Look at this. I've taken you out twice, and it's put you back in twice. StreamYard doesn't want me to end the show. This is crazy.
It's the universe.
Yes.
Here, let me
was doing this to start with. I had a hard time starting the show. Let me try it one more time. Good night, Reggie. There we go. Now we're out of here. All right. Everybody in the chat room, I appreciate them. Kristen, Carol, Dark Horse Paranormal. I really appreciate if you want to follow me on Facebook, Lynn Dorman. That's the profile, Southern Five Paranormal Podcast. It's a page off my profile page. On YouTube, it's CARK, SEARKPS. Lynn Dorman is my channel. Follow me there. Of course, you can follow the network and see all the WLFE shows. WLFE DB Radio. That's their channel on YouTube. or WLFEDB.com on the internet. So you can catch all the WLFE. They have some interesting shows. There's interesting personalities are on this network with me. So I'm not the only one here. And they do go into other areas besides the paranormal. All right. That's it for our show tonight.
Thanks for watching our show. Be sure to tune in to next week as once again we journey way down south into Bayou Country for another heaping portion of Southern Fried Paranormal with Len Dorman and Bones. Make sure to like, share, and follow. Y'all come back now. You hear?